the whole role of online learning in terms of how it's going to interface with bricks and mortar teachers has not really been figured out. And so the first question I'd like to ask everyone to respond to is, have you, first of all, had an experience with an online course? And then secondly, what do you see as the best way to use online courses or even segments of online courses in the K-12 setting?
I in 1995 and 94-95, School District 4J created the first online high school program that gave credit that was on the World Wide Web, as we called it at that time. And one of the earliest teachers in cyber school was Virginia Pettit, believe it or not. And so some of you may know her. And we did it for about 5 or 6 years. And then I retired.
A few years ago, Todd Rose and I took a class with Virginia at the Southern Oregon ESD of how to create online classes, and see a use for it. But wow, it's a lot of work to create it.
Well, I've taken a number of courses at RCC online, tech classes and stuff like this to improve my skills as a computer teacher. But I've always thought online at the K-12 may be helpful in credit retrieval, or for those students who are failing, who needs to take the class over again. Maybe there's an opportunity for them to do it online, do an online class rather than a brick and mortar class.
For credit retrieval kids, it isn't necessarily the best plan because a lot of times the self-motivation isn't there. And online learning, much like project-based learning in the face-to-face classroom, seems to be very student-driven.
The admin, the board, they think of online teaching as a way of a cost savings rather than a learning process for the students. And the other thing I was thinking about after we finished talking is that I worry that so many teachers don't want to learn the new way, aren't willing to look into it and see it as a way to connect with their kids.
I think designing with technology is kind of complicated. I like infusing technology in the classroom, but it's a funny thing. But I really love creating curriculum. I like looking at my students and thinking about how to create and tweak and make things that will fire them up and help them learn. And so there would be kind of a fine line there for me, and whatever was created would have to be pretty top notch, I think, to be satisfactory for me.
I've been teaching exclusively online for 6 years, and I've met one student face to face. I think it just depends on the teacher, really, and how involved they want to be in connecting with the individual kids. Some teachers teach content, and some teachers teach students. And I've always been more interested in the students, but I also kind of dig my content.
Well, I think that's our greatest danger is to take the passion out of the subject. A student who gets an A and swears never ever to read Shakespeare again the rest of their lives, to me, that's a real sad failure, or for any other content area. And I saw that a lot, that, yeah, I got my A, but God, I'll never do that again, seems to be terrible. The best way to combat that, I think, is using technology like Second Life. Second Life is going to go down to 13 within the next couple of years, and I think this is a perfect platform for engaging students. I'm a literature background, and for example, in Second Life, they have the the fall of the House of Usher, and you go into the house and you have an event and you take on roles based on the characters and so forth, and do some role playing. A lot of really exciting sorts of stuff. And I hope we get to see that, and less emphasis on passing standardized tests over material that you can find on Google in a matter of seconds. So let's hope for the best.